I want us to create a simulation. There's an assumption. I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
Okay.
In the hopes that you do, you can wake up tomorrow and decide that you're never ever going to do politics again. But if we're going to assume that there is a possibility that you're going to run, I want us to maintain that narrative.
Okay.
What are you running for? What do you want to achieve in governance?
Okay. The possibility under the assumption that
that you could run.
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
Yeah.
I have a burden for unemployment.
Yeah.
Battling unemployment.
Yeah.
I think when I was campaigning, there was I sat with a businessman. He's in the construction business in this Etiosa axis.
Yeah.
And if you just drive up the Lekki Expressway, you see estates being built. Literally, it goes all the way up to Shango Tedo.
Wow.
Past that, there's residential estates being built there, commercial buildings. And I sat with the businessman, and I was talking, and he said, I own a construction company. He said, do you know that I have to import expertise to build the kinds of buildings that my clients require? Because the quality that is required of me as a businessman, I can't really find here. So I get people from Benin Republic. I get people from China. I get people from wherever I find them, because at the end of the day, my client doesn't care. My client wants a house that looks like and feels a certain way.
Yeah.
My estates have to be a certain way. And I need the expertise to be there. So Nigerians are looking for jobs. There are jobs available, or there's work available, but there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
So what if we said, there's a law or a provision in the law that allows a company to help the federal government with infrastructure. So if there's a road that is bad, a bank or an oil company or whatever can
step in and have it fixed
and fix it and then get some tax breaks. So what if we said the same thing with empowering young people, giving them the skill set to be able to get these jobs in construction, in entertainment, in engineering, media. So what if we said, hey, private company or private businessman, if you invest in the empowerment and the skill acquisition of our young people, then you'll get a discount on your tax rate, because business people are in business for profit. Here's another idea. NYSC is a monumental waste of resources. It's this massive thing that is compulsory, and we spend a fortune on it as a country every year, and it doesn't achieve what it was originally set out for. So go with me on this. Could we consider making NYSC an optional program?
Okay.
What would happen? Number one, everybody who doesn't need it wouldn't do it, right? That means you could then increase the amount of money that is being paid to young people who do need it. So instead of 33K, which is not enough to survive in Nigeria of today, because you spend the whole thing on transport and barely feeding yourself, you could maybe double that.
Okay.
Right? And then the people who do need that program to start with after university can do it. And the companies can still use that labor. Whereas the people who are just going there to sign and pay somebody off and disappear, which is probably at least half of the people that are in the program, can go off and do whatever it is that they're doing and save us that money. So the idea is, how do we rethink the way, and that's
we've done the way
we've done things, right? So there's a thing that a couple of states, I know Ekiti State has done this, I believe Kaduna State has done this as well. They've removed this thing called right-of-way charges to allow, which basically is a charge that the government imposes if you want to lay cables for high-speed internet.
Okay.
But let me tell you what it does. At the moment, most people in government who are at that decision-making table would have looked at that as a source of income for the government. A technology company wants to come in and lay cables, I'm going to charge them a lot of money, I'm making a little bit of money. But if you are forward-thinking, you know that if I make internet true high-speed internet accessible for my people, it will boost my economy. It will give young people an opportunity to learn, to do, to have businesses, to get education. It'll do wonders for my economy in the long term. So sacrifice the charge and tell a company, you know what, and that's what they did in Ekiti State and I believe Kaduna, you know what, come and lay it here for zero or next to nothing.
Okay.
Because what that does is now your state is online.
Yeah.
Now your young people in it. Now, I mean, look at the world. We're all working from home now.
Yeah.
Somebody could live in Ekiti State and work somewhere else.
Yeah.
If they have the internet, the high-speed broadband to
very
go to do
true.
it.
Given where we have gone now with this whole remote working thing.
Exactly. So what we need is a National Assembly that will go in and say, how do we rethink things? So when people talk about restructuring, I'm always careful about the term because I want to know what is it that you are talking about specifically.
All right.
What are we restructuring? What are we rethinking?
Yeah.
Because I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If it's about rethinking the way that we've done certain things that we've always accepted.
Yeah.
And saying, this is 2022.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? How do we fix the nation now? And those are the conversations that I'm interested in having in government.
All right.